So guys, if you think Nigeria is not a joke, take a look at this clip.
Are these kidnappers? Where are the terrorists? Well, here is a video of an alleged bandit kingpin who goes by the name My Jaka, filmed cracking jokes freely with a Lebanese man said to be an engineer handling the Gusau-Sokoto road. My Jaka is reported by Zagazola Makama, has maintained his presence on TikTok freely, boasting of how he has been carrying out attacks. You see this, Rufai. This video, has been circulating, and that man is there. But we talked about this, about TikTok, the last time we discussed that bandit.
So guys, it's all about banditry in the north. Before I allow you watch this video in full, take a look at this other clip that has to do with 22 students from the University of Zamfara State who were released from the den of their captors. These students have spent 207 days, at the hands of the bandits. They were kidnapped since September 2023, and their release is just being secured. So guys, a whole lot in this video. Take your time and just watch this for you to understand what is happening. Take a look at this first clip.
Freed 22 students and lecturers of the Federal University Gusau marching into the meeting room of the National Security Advisor in Abuja as the security agency prepares to hand over the students to the Zamfara state government. One of the students, Hafsat Ibrahim Shema, while speaking on behalf of others, narrates how they spent about 207 days in captivity while commending the federal government for coming to their rescue.
I feel highly honored on this wonderful opportunity given to me to thank the Almighty Allah and thank the National Security Advisor and the government at large for their job for the safe release, having been in captivity for over 207 days. I said kudos to all of you.
An elated National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, while handling the students and lecturers, commended the collaborative efforts of security agencies, saying that over 1,000 Nigerians have been freed from the hands of violent groups since the inception of President Bola Tinubu's administration last year.
This is yet again a success story in our efforts to free all those being unlawfully held in captivity. We have so far released over 1,000 of such victims without noise.
NSA Ribadu, while talking tough, also wants violent groups and other criminals to stay clear from abducting or attacking Nigerians, as the federal government is strengthening law enforcement and other security agencies to prevent future abductions, especially within vulnerable communities. The coordinator of the National Counter-Terrorism Center, Major General Adamu Laka, retired, who coordinated the rescue operation, also speaks on it.
Such a rescue was conducted by a combined team of law enforcement agencies, and the adoptees were subsequently rescued.
Going forward, we are strengthening law enforcement and security measures to prevent these abductions and strengthen physical security across vulnerable communities. This work is done by our security forces, our soldiers, our armed forces, our police, our intelligence agencies.
A representative of the Zamfara government, Ibrahim Anka, who received the freed victims, commended the efforts of the NSA in coordinating the military and security operations that ensured the safe rescue of the victims.
Congratulations to all of you, and also to give an accolade to the National Security Advisor and the entire security agencies that have been working relentlessly day and night, risking their lives, losing their lives, and they're there once trying to rescue everyone.
Security operatives say the victims were freed near Kuchin Duse, a village in Safi local government area of Zamfara, by government forces. They were then evacuated to Abuja for debriefing and medical checkups before they are reunited with their families. They were abducted in September last year, and their off-campus hostel in Sabungida, a community adjacent to the university campus, in the Zamfara state capital, Gusau.
It for yourself that this government is just playing with the Nigerian people. They will come out and tell us they've secured release of kidnapped persons, but they will not go after the kidnappers. They will not go after the bandits. They will not go after the terrorists. Nigerians, this is worrisome. Each time, you know, Mr. Rabadu will come out to tell Nigerians how many people they've released or they've secured their release without noise. But what about the bandits? Does it mean they enter a deal? This is what Nigerians are yet to understand. So let me just allow you finish this clip for yourself.
The release of 22 abducted students and staff of the Federal University in Gusau, Zamfara State, who were kidnapped from the institution in September 2023 by terrorists. On Monday, the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, welcomed the abducted persons during an emotional ceremony in Abuja, where he stated that no ransom was paid to secure the release of the abductees and that over 1,000 of such victims have been released so far without any noise and with complete respect to their privacy since President Bola Ahmed Tinubu assumed office on May 29, 2023.
This is yet again a success story in our efforts to free all those being unlawfully held in captivity. We have so far released over 1,000 of such victims without noise. Going forward, we are strengthening law enforcement and security measures to prevent these abductions and strengthen physical security across vulnerable communities. This work is done by our security forces, our soldiers, our armed forces, our police, our intelligence agencies.
All right, we must commend the security forces, Rufai, as always. But you know, as journalists, we will always ask the questions that we need answers for. Let me take a reaction, which is one of the questions that we've been asking. This is from Eni, who wrote, "Beautiful one, and it's very commendable. But all this rescue mission with no arrest of the kidnap perpetrators is not going to help in the progress of insecurity. Arrests need to be made and culprits need to be made to face the law." Well, we've talked about this, Rufai. Remember the last time they released some students in Kaduna? You did send out that tweet. We are seeing these abductees being released. Well, kudos to the Tinubu administration as well, because we have seen it, like, you know, over and over again. But where are these kidnappers? Where are the terrorists? Well, here is a video of an alleged bandit kingpin who goes by the name My Jaka, filmed cracking jokes freely with a Lebanese man said to be an engineer handling the Gusau-Sokoto road. My Jaka is reported by Zagazola Makama, has maintained his presence on TikTok freely, boasting of how he has been carrying out attacks. You see this, Rufai. This video, you know, has been circulating, and that man is there. But you know, we talked about this, about TikTok. The last time we discussed that bandit that was brandishing the Naira notes, and we talked about the fact that these bandits, or whoever they are alleged to be, are out there, and our security forces need to display these people out so we can know where they are, or what has been going on so far.
Oji, you know, we live in a society where people want to be praised.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't do well with praises. I mean, I'm a stoic in my head. So I'm taking at sea when people are saying it's commendable that they release them. Okay, in the spirit of praises, oh, we praise them, it's commendable that they rescued them, isn't it? But that's gallows humor. Should we even have a country where people are being kidnapped and they are paraded in the first place? So that's the question. So if they want to, we praise you for rescuing them. But a country that is supposed to protect you, we now have that country where people are being kidnapped and we are parading kidnapped victims. It's an achievement by the National Security Advisor, where his role is supposed to have intelligence to stop the kidnapping in the first place. And when they say ransoms are not being paid, we all know the shenanigans that goes on. We've built a banditry ecosystem where these people pick up people and they are seen at the back. And negotiations go on. We can go from Kankara boys to God knows what. So why can't we stop that market?
That's the
and that's why you are seeing this video on TikTok. to show that these people have had so much ecosystem. I'm sure in their communities they will praise them, and they are carrying guns. These are non-state actors carrying guns, but intelligence officials have not been able to pick up those people.
Yeah, that's the question.
And you want us to praise them when they now parade the people that have been returned after this conversation that goes on, and say we should praise them.
Right.
So let me tell you something, Oji. We've built a state where non-state actors are dominating. And you know, the state is supposed to have the legitimacy and monopoly of violence. And if the state is losing that, then you have chaos brewing.
Yeah.
We are losing parts of this country increasingly.
Well, thank God those abductees have been released. They spent 207 days in captivity. But you know, we just marked the 10th anniversary of Chibok, and so we still have about 89 of our girls out there in captivity. In the meantime, as the world marked the 10th anniversary of the abduction of the Chibok girls, the leader of the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, Edwin Clark, has asked President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to appoint a special task force to travel to Sambisa Forest to rescue the remaining Chibok girls held in captivity.
The federal government, under President Tinubu, should appoint a special task force with brave soldiers, competent, transparent, not nepotic, to that brave task force to be given a time limit. Their main duty is to travel at all times to Sambisa Forest and anywhere to search for these girls. When Jonathan said there were Boko Haram in his government, it's true. Even in his office, every attempt made by Jonathan to save these girls, to release rescue these girls, was thwarted by the state government of Northeast. No government has given the Chibok thing a priority.
Well, you know, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu wrote an op-ed in This Week where he talked about Nigerians and the economy. You know, they're going to be liberated. He also talked about the fact that his administration will make sure that no ransom will be paid. I mean, we will give kudos because we are seeing the release, but the question is still out there. Is it possible?
All right, so yeah, I mean, that's a big question. First, from the first story, in terms of the release, thank God that these children are back home. We saw picture footage of them being received. But beyond that is that we keep saying that what is the deterrent for these kidnappings not occurring again? If there are no arrests, if there's no public show of punishments to deter people from doing it again, then it's almost fruitless. And then the second part of the question, which you often ask, is how were these girls released? Of course, I know they might want to keep some parts of their operations quiet because of the sensitivity of it, but I can't imagine going into a kidnapper's den, picking up children, and there's no form of combat where there's exchange or loss. You know, some people are being apprehended. It beggars belief. Is it that there was an arrangement where we say you meet them halfway? Was there an exchange? It doesn't make any sense. If I come into, even the Bible says if you go to a strong man's house to rescue something, you have to defeat the strong man first of all. You can't just sneak in, get the girls out, and then do nothing. If for anything, at least to pick one or two people to give you intelligence so as to arrest the situation. That's why it's very suspect. We want to believe it. We want to celebrate that they've you know, adhered to their no ransom policy. But it's difficult. Except we are not journalists, except we're not able to ask questions, then we will take this on the surface of things. With regards to what Chief Edwin Clark said, spot on. He mentioned something, and that's what piqued my interest in that first story. Time limit. Yes. Whether we celebrate or not, these people already spent, since September 2023, over 100 days in captivity. We saw what happened with some of the rescued girls from Chibok, where some of them had already gotten pregnant, they had children of their own, and it just goes to show that the longer time they spend there, sometimes it's difficult to rehabilitate them, or they already have damaged individuals coming out. We don't want that. So yes, I praise them, but can we also look at the time limit in terms of how long these children are meant, you know, get to stay in captivity? Absolutely. So yes, special task force. I don't know why the Chibok girls rescue has become a Herculean or impossible task. If President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration can do that, honestly, it will be one of the chief legacies of this administration.
I like that, his chief legacy. I mean, it's a level of transparency of the government at this point. I love the fact that we are seeing these videos of these abductees being released. We also want to see videos, pictures of these terrorists, these kidnappers. Well, in the same vein, the governor of Kaduna State, or the former governor of Kaduna State, Nasiru El-Rufai, has described the governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Zulum, as the best governor in Nigeria at the moment, amid recent criticism over his handling of insecurity and controversy trailing the freed Chibok girls housed by the governor. El-Rufai made the comment at a workshop organized for senior government officials in Borno State on Monday. The former governor also commended Zulum's leadership style in rebuilding and restoring economic hope in the state, while describing the major problem in Nigeria as leadership deficit. Speaking with journalists after the workshop, El-Rufai said that the federal government is spending more on petrol subsidy than before, and that over 8 trillion naira may have been spent by the Tinubu administration to subsidize petrol, insisting that the price of petrol should have been higher than diesel, presently sold at about 1,000 naira, if not for the subsidy.
As you announced withdrawal process of 29. But believe it or not, that subsidy is back. Because we're spending more on subsidy now, about 8 trillion than before 29, because we realize that you cannot withdraw fuel subsidy if your exchange rate is not stable. You just have hyperinflation, so they have to relax. So no policy is cast in stone. It's not written in the Quran. If you start implementing and there are problems, modify it, drop it, reverse it.
Well, we are hearing the former governor of Kaduna State speaking now. Well, also during the conference, the former governor of the state, while reacting to comments made by his successor, Governor Uba Sani, about leaving behind huge debts in the state, said that he doesn't want to interfere in what's happening in Kaduna or play a godfather role, and that he's only visited Kaduna State 5 times since he left office almost a year ago. Dr. Vati, over to you.
Okay, quite a basket full of issues.
Yes.
Let me start with Nasir El-Rufai. If he says Governor Zulum is the best thing since the invention of toothpaste, we cannot argue with him. He says he has been to Borno State, Maiduguri now and then. He says from the evidence of his eyes, he has seen that there is a lot of improvement in terms of life returning, in terms of improvements with regard to infrastructure. You cannot ask a man to disbelieve the evidence of his eyes. So I don't want to argue with him in that regard. And there may well be other persons who think that Professor Zulum is one of the performing governors. There may be others who will say, what criteria are you adopting? There may be others that will say, oh, what of my own governor? Governor Alex Oti, what of my own governor, Dakwabiodun, what of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State,
what about his
our host
successor?
governor?
You're not asking that question.
Which successor?
Uba Sani, what about his successor?
I will go to Uba
Okay,
Sani in a moment. It's one of the stories you talked about. Yes. He said, well, he has not been to Kaduna frequently since he left office, that he had been there only just about 5 times. That, okay, when you help a man to get a job, it's for him to do the job. But no, it's not about not being a godfather. Nobody wants a godfather. And Nasir El-Rufai is intelligent enough to know that he cannot come and tell us he wants to be anybody's godfather. However, Governor Uba Sani raised questions about debt and said that he met the state in debt. Now, that's the question. That's not what he has responded to.
Absolutely not.
His son was responding on his behalf. That's the issue with regard to Kaduna State. But as for, going to Borno State, if you go and visit a man, they invite you to come and be a resource person at capacity workshop. They give you jollof rice, they give you pepper soup. We don't expect you to say that the governor who is hosting you is not doing well. But that's that about that. Now, to go to Chief E.K. Clark, with due respect, I disagree with elder statesman Chief E.K. Clark, who says we need a special task force to address, the freedom of the Chibok girls who are still in captivity. Yes, Chief Ike Clark, as our father, you know, he spoke like a father. He wants the children to be freed and all of that. That's fine. But creating a special task force will be an additional bureaucracy. President Tinubu is constantly holding security meetings, national security meetings, and telling the security chiefs, I've given you marching orders. And these people, they are collecting money. Yeah. The various security agencies. So what are they doing with the billions of money that they have been collecting? Where we are is that General Christopher Musa, General Tauridi Lagbaja, the Inspector General of Police, let them do their work.
Yes.
Let them free those people that are in captivity, because nobody in this country, you know, should be in captivity, whether you are lowly placed or you are highly placed. And we don't need a special task force in that regard. The security must be guaranteed. Yeah. Section 14 of the Nigerian Constitution makes that very clear. As for the NSA staging a song and a dance over the rescue of 28, you know, kidnapped, 22 yes. kidnapped persons, well, okay, yeah. Anybody that is rescued, yes. we will still, you know, thank the authorities for doing it, yes. for performing. However, UNICEF, on this same subject of 22 abductees being freed, has reminded the Nigerian government that the Nigerian government has to pay attention to early warning signs, that the Nigerian government has to pay more attention to safe school security, safe school initiative. Yeah. And that also the Nigerian government, you know, needs to provide child protection policies. I think, you know, these are bigger issues. Right. But the NSA, you know, no Ribadu, tells us that this is an evidence that non-kinetic measures work. Okay, when it says non-kinetic measures, it simply means they did not use force. And then he said they didn't pay ransom. Well, I don't think too many Nigerians will believe that. But he is a national security advisor. You know, he has information that may not be available to the rest of us. But what we are saying is that no Nigerian child.
Give us our girls. Give us our people. Yeah, all we are saying, let me help you, giving back our girls.
One of these days, you people will watch an album on this program. I hope it will sell. I hope it will compete with Davido.
Yes.
Your big
absolutely
superstar.
We pray for the safe release of our girls and all of those people held in captivity. We'll take.
So guys, you have seen it for yourself. Honestly, this government still has a lot to explain to the Nigerian people. Most times they tell us they never paid a dime during this release, you know. But the question remains, why are they not arresting the people? They keep terrorizing, you know, the North and making it, you know, unlivable for the people over there. People will even have to pay fees for them to harvest their produce from their farms. And the government is not doing anything. So guys, I just want to say that honestly, I feel pained, you know, looking at these students who have spent even more than a semester or at the hands of their captors. I mean, these people have spent more than a semester. You can imagine since September 2023, meaning that even till the Christmas period, they were there. And then we entered a new year from January, February, March. Until this April, they are being released. Nigerians, this call for worry. I just wonder how the family was able to keep up with this, to manage such a situation until this moment when they were released. And just for you to know that many other Nigerians are still at the hands of their captors, you know, who do not even know when their release is going to happen. And the northern elders are quiet, the northerners are quiet, the northern politicians are quiet. Nobody is doing anything to end this kind of menace, especially in the north, where, you know, even university students are being kidnapped. So guys, let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Thank you.